The film opens with a disturbing scene, a woman being force-fed against her will. The meaning of this unsettling moment is unclear, but it sets a dark tone for what's to come. We then move to a bustling restaurant kitchen where Sheffy, the head chef, is introduced. Despite her success, Sheffy feels trapped and unfulfilled in her current job. She has decided to leave and open her own restaurant. When she informs her manager of her decision, he tries to persuade her to stay and even demands extra money before letting her go. Determined to pursue her dream, Sheffy refuses, stands her ground, and walks away. The next morning, Sheffy travels deep into a forest to visit the site she has chosen for her new restaurant, an old property that once housed another eatery. She doesn't know why it closed, but she's eager to start anew. Exploring the grounds, she finds a neglected garden that appears to have been cultivated by the previous chef. As she inspects the plants, Sheffy spots an old woman watching her from a distance, but when she turns around, the figure is gone. Disturbed and uneasy, Sheffy tries to shake off the encounter. Later, her business partner Andres arrives. He takes her to another forest-themed restaurant for inspiration, hoping they can borrow ideas for their new venture. There, they meet Lucia, a talented chef who joins their team. During dinner, Andres mentions that he has invited investors to visit on Sunday and tasks Sheffy with preparing an exceptional menu to impress them. That night, Sheffy stays up searching for recipes. But as she works, strange noises echo outside her cabin. When she goes to investigate, she finds nothing except a photograph of an old woman in the lounge, eerily similar to the figure she saw earlier. Before she can examine it, she glimpses the woman's shadow in the window. Terrified, Sheffy takes a pill to calm her nerves and tries to sleep. The next morning, she discovers that all the food she prepared overnight has spoiled. The dough is crawling with insects, and everything else is covered in fungus. Panicked, she scrambles to start over before the investors arrive, but the markets are out of key ingredients. Forced to improvise, she serves a plain meal. The investors are unimpressed, calling it ordinary until dessert. But as Sheffy presents it, insects begin to crawl from the dish. Horrified, she stops one of the guests from eating it, pretending the spoon was too hot. The damage is done, and the investors leave unimpressed. That night, Sheffy hears the strange sounds again. Furious and afraid, she arms herself with a knife and follows the noise, only to find a rabbit. She chases it into the forest and discovers a hidden gate leading to a magnificent, otherworldly garden filled with glowing plants and unfamiliar fruits. When she picks one of the fruits, it bursts open, revealing the same kind of insects that ruin her dough. Startled, she trips, hits her head, and faints, just as the old woman appears before her, whispering something indecipherable. When Sheffy wakes, she's back in her bed, covered in mud. Andres arrives with bad news. The investors dislike the food and will only fund the restaurant if he replaces her. Furious and heartbroken, Sheffy pleads for 2 more weeks to prove herself. Days pass, but her dishes still lack flavor. Then, while wearing the same muddy jacket, Sheffy finds a strange fruit from the garden in its pocket. Out of curiosity, she tastes it, and it's delicious. Inspired, she decides to cook using ingredients from the garden. The results are astonishing. Every dish becomes remarkably flavorful, leaving her fellow chefs speechless. When asked where the ingredients came from, Sheffy lies, saying they're from a friend. Soon after, she spots an old man near the garden who vanishes before she can confront him. A helper explains that local legend speaks of a witch who once tended the garden, using its plants to brew potions that enslaved people's minds. The villagers eventually drove her away, and her garden became cursed. Sheffy begins to suspect that the witch might have been the old woman she keeps seeing. Exploring the house, She finds a book detailing the properties of the garden's plants and a strange symbol that matches one carved on a tree. She starts marking this same symbol beneath her menu notes. That night, Sheffy hears noises from the basement and finds a hidden tunnel filled with items related to the garden. As she examines them, a ghostly hand reaches toward her. The old woman's voice whispers again, seemingly asking Sheffy to care for the garden. Terrified, Sheffy flees and falls ill from shock. Nevertheless, she returns to work and prepares an incredible menu using the garden's ingredients. Andres is thrilled and announces the restaurant's grand opening. But soon after, chaos erupts in the kitchen. A deranged man is found eating his own flesh. Andres recognizes him. He was the previous chef of this same hotel, once celebrated for his unique dishes before descending into madness. Sheffy realizes his old diary, filled with disturbing sketches and recipes using the garden plants, had belonged to him. It dawns on her that the plants are toxic. Their beauty and flavor mask their power to corrupt the mind. Terrified of losing her sanity too, Sheffy destroys everything, her notes, the menus, and all the garden produce. As she burns the symbol, the old woman's face appears before her, causing Sheffy to flee screaming into the forest. Determined to break free, Sheffy orders her team to abandon the garden ingredients and create a new menu. During the chaos, she accidentally cuts off her own finger, but doesn't even feel the pain. Her mind is unraveling. When Andres arrives, furious about the disorder, he confronts her just as special guests are arriving. Despite hallucinating insects crawling from her mouth, Sheffy insists on serving the dishes. Tragically, one of the guests suffers a severe allergic reaction to seafood, something Sheffy already knew, and nearly dies. The event is a disaster. Andres, humiliated and bankrupt, lashes out at her that night. The next day, Andres informs Sheffy that the investors will only stay if she is fired. Enraged, Sheffy attacks him, screaming that she gave up her entire life for this restaurant. Andres locks her in a storage room to stop her. Trapped and desperate, Sheffy searches for a way out and finds a tunnel behind a small door. Crawling through, she discovers the skeleton of the old woman from the photograph. Beside it lies a message. After death, humans become nourishment for the earth. One choose to feed my garden. A flashback reveals the truth. The witch was once a healer who used her herbs to cure the sick. When villagers misunderstood her practices, they attacked. To protect her beloved garden, she buried herself beneath it, becoming one with the soil and infusing it with her essence. Sheffy realizes that her hallucinations were manifestations of this woman's lingering spirit, a reflection of the same obsession and devotion that Sheffy herself has for her craft. Suddenly, a hand emerges from the soil, not the ghost, but Sheffy's. She climbs out of the earth, covered in mud, reborn. Following the familiar rabbit, she eats the garden's fruits again, accepting her fate. Back at the restaurant, chaos reigns without her. Just as Andres despairs, Sheffy returns through the kitchen door, muddy, wild-eyed, and full of purpose. She takes over the kitchen and tells the guests, "Let me show you what real food tastes like." She leads everyone outside to the garden, lights a fire, and begins cooking using the mysterious plants. The guests are astonished. The food is divine. Even the skeptical investors and Sheffy's old mentor are moved by its flavor. As the celebration continues, Sheffy notices a red fruit bearing the same symbol that has haunted her since the beginning. She cuts it open and sees the same markings that appeared on the old woman's hand, the mark of the garden's guardian. In that moment, Sheffy understands. She has inherited the witch's role. She is now the new keeper of the garden, its power, its curse, and its beauty. The film ends on this revelation, a haunting, poetic cycle of creation, obsession, and surrender. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And make sure to subscribe for more amazing stories like this. Your support really helps the channel grow.